Great, we are live. So welcome to the readout where we go through all the location winners that you should already know about from the TADHack weblog. And then the new information is the global winners. And we have David from Days by VoIP Innovations, and of course Kim from Status. So they're going to run through their winners. They'll introduce themselves and run through the winners towards the end of this live stream. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move over and share some slides with you. So just bear with me for one moment while I share my screen, and then there we go. You should be seeing the slides. And there we go. Excellent. So what I'm going to do, as I said, I'm just going to run through all the location winners, give you a little bit of background on what we achieved this weekend over TADHack Global, and then I'll break out of the slide share, hand over to David to introduce himself, Kim to introduce herself and Status, and then we'll jump back to the slides and we'll do the same with David. So moving on. Our global sponsors this year were Status, which is an Ethereum OS, and Days by VoIP Innovations. So we were really lucky this year to have two sponsors that really enabled some very interesting mashups. If one of the things that I found very common across, for example, at TADHack Berlin, was the excitement of the teams in being able to work with developers from different disciplines. So all the telco geeks were really excited to be working with the Ethereum geeks and vice versa. So this was a really interesting mashup of people, and I think we've got some very interesting projects kicking off here for the future. Now, TADHack is a decentralized event, so we heavily rely on a whole range of partners all around the world to make this happen. And there was over 60 of them, all helping and supporting us in running hacks all around the world. For me, one of the achievements I think we had this year with TADHack Global is we have burger chains as partners. That shows we've gone mainstream when people that are selling burgers want to be involved with TADHack. Now, just some numbers. We achieved the same number of registrations as last year, so 3,300 registrations. We have over 150 hacks. Now, we actually, in several of the locations, they down select before the event. So we have hundreds of hacks, but on the day, we end up with about 150. Across 20 locations around the world, now I'm including some of our remote locations in there. 4 of our locations this year had between 150 to 200 people, more towards the upper end. So we are now in several locations achieving what I sort of call our mega hackathons. Now, what makes TADHack different? Because there's a lot of hackathons. I think there's hackathon fatigue in many markets. Firstly, it's diversity. We started from the outset when we started TADHack in 2014. Diversity across locations, diversity across peoples, diversity of abilities. So it's not just focusing on coders. We bring in a whole range of people across graphic design, product management, strategy, all coming together, working, solving problems that matter to them. Another is openness. We bring in a whole range of people. I mean, we have burger chains as partners, but also bringing in a whole range of interesting technologies for people to hack on and to mash up. The other thing is, it's hard. I think this is something that people don't realize, is we don't set a simple challenge and it's like, go away, solve it, woohoo, you know how to use our APIs, game over. We say, yes, understand sponsors' technologies, but actually, we want you to look at solving problems in your communities, in your life, at work, and how these technologies can help solve those problems you see. So that's a hard ask. But in doing that, we've seen companies launched, services launched that are making differences in people's lives. So that's a little bit of background. So you got some numbers. You know the people, all the different people involved in making TADHack happen to achieve those numbers. Let me quickly run through the location winners just so you see the great selection of hacks that have been created over the past weekend. I'll kick off with Bangladesh. That ran on Friday and Saturday because that's their weekend. Their winners were Team Deadline, and they had an app to trace a location of a person in danger. And you're going to see this coming in as a theme in several of the regions in personal security. Then we had the team Oddbit Loaders, and they had an app to empower women to stand against domestic violence. Again, done a lot of research, and you can see how this can go to market very quickly and make a difference in people's lives. The other winners were Team Dreamers, which was an intelligent healthcare system. And then we're going to see this pop up again as a theme in several hacks. And just to give a shout out to Senate Mobile, these guys have been with us since the start of TADHack, and Bangladesh was made possible thanks to those guys. So again, well done, the whole Senate Mobile team in making that happen. On to Brisbane. Let me just quickly run through. We had Team Rube. This was a generative protocol for everything. What I suggest is just go to the weblog, click on their hack, and it will take you through to their video. Going through the video, I think you'll find it's very interesting what these guys have done. Other team that won at Brisbane was SOSMS, which was an emergency alert system. Again, great hack, and they were the runners-up at Brisbane. And as always, I've got to give props. It's very much about people. It's individuals that come together to make TADHack happen at all of these locations. iLab provided all the facilities. I'll just give a shout out to Mark White and Jason Lowe from Oracle for all the help and support in making Brisbane happen. But there's a whole host of people behind as well that are making this possible. On to Chicago. SysSafe was one of their hacks. They were a runner-up prize. Again, we had Omander Emergency Alert System. They were one of the runners-up. And then we had PandaGuard, which was the winner, which was ensuring safety inside buildings. Again, they've done some really interesting technology with their hacks. So well done, guys. And just to give props to Illinois Institute of Technology's Real-Time Communication Labs. They've been with us since the start with TADHack and always produce some very interesting hacks. Moving on to Japan. Now, this was the first time Japan was part of TADHack Global. We did a mini several years ago, but this time they came in as part of the global event. And the winning hacks there was an RCS WebRTC hack that came from a group, and they won the Synchronos prize, as well as some vouchers and free WebRTC access to NTT AT service. And the runner-up was MapMotion by Craig Will, and he won the runner-up Synchronos prize. And just to, again, give props to NTT AT, Synchronos, MapMotion for supporting that event. It was the first time they were running it. They were all noobs to the hackathon game, but they made it happen. So well done, guys. Moving on to Johannesburg. They ran through the night. As you can see, it was one of our larger events. The overall winners were Scratch Labs, and they were using an AI app that learns your usual patterns in terms of how you use your phone, where you are, stuff like that. And once it notices irregularities, it then can basically contact an emergency control point. So great hack. Again, go to the weblog, click to see these guys giving their presentation. I am missing some pictures. I apologize. They will be there when we get this slide deck finalized. There was some mall vouchers for Society X, which was a crowdsourced emergency services engine. We then had some more mall vouchers for Overleaf, which is an all-in-one verified digital documents provider. Some more mall vouchers for tech-savvy kids, and there they were fighting human trafficking. Again, one of the themes that they ran in Johannesburg was looking at how technologies can help people within townships. So this was focused on that. There was an IBM API prize for South African, which was looking at last mile delivery services. Special Judges Prize went to Civiso. He was 14, so he had a big impact on the people at the event. There was also using Huawei's API, so they had a range of technologies there. Hungry Wolves, they won that for a app that allows people to book spaces in taxis, so ride sharing. Then there was a prize for the best female coder from Waqar Saman, so well done to you. MTN actually ran an internal hackathon. So they took this energy and they also brought, ran a hackathon before focused on internal employees. Now I see this popping up more and more. My recommendation is always, don't treat it as something that, well, we might wash our dirty laundry in public. We can't do it in public. Very much recommend first experience employees, as a telco should have, is in a real hackathon, meeting the diversity of people, seeing the energy, understanding just how hard the competition you face works. So very much get your people out and experiencing a real hackathon over a weekend, not just internal stuff. And again, this wouldn't have been possible without a lot of hard work from many people within MTN South Africa and Group. Thank you so much. Moving on to KL's winners. I've just received all the names, so I apologize that I don't have the names in here, but it's just numbers. As you can see, they had 45 teams. We don't have all the pictures recorded, we just have a subset, so they were doing a significant down selection. But you can see some of the things that they were doing there in terms of restaurant app, customer call, actionable insights. It's not a mistake that for Team 6, it is Amazon shopping checkout. I did go to the video and check that that actually is how it was spelled. Telemedicine popped up and a decentralized warranty card. And that received a local prize. Again, a whole range of companies that come together. Orbitage, it's Craig Richards. He's the guy that makes this possible. And he brings together a whole ecosystem of people to run KL across MDEC, CCPS, Magic, University of Kuala Lumpur, and Surya Labs. Thanks so much. On to London. So we have Matt with, Matt is an Uber geek. He always turns up and always does something that you have to watch several times to understand what he did. And then once you understand it, it's awe-inspiring. He did an Ethereum-hosted WebAssembly serverless runtime. I know that's a mouthful. Watch his pitch a couple of times, you'll get it. We also had Emmanuel. Emmanuel's been at TADHack London before, and he built up a matrix Whisper bridge, which is great. Definitely needed it, and we're really excited with the bridge he created over that weekend. Well done. And Mohammed did a really interesting application in terms of auto insure. So this is using event-driven telephony capture and cryptographic assurance for autonomous vehicles. So again, he'd really thought about this problem and was showing a great hack. Well done. And give props to Rob from IP Cortex. Rob attended the first TADHack Global back in Madrid in 2014 as a hacker, and he's now running the London location. Moving on to Madrid, some excellent hacks here. Just quickly, because I don't want to spend too much time going through all the location winners, is we want to give some time to our global sponsors. Drug On by Tream Rocket. This was using blockchain for medical prescriptions. Again, really interesting hack. Fairivry, it's a bit of a mouthful. Again, using blockchain for last mile packages. And then ESD, which was mashing up telecoms and blockchain. Again, really interesting hack they came up with. And UPM, the university there, and Carios are the people that made Madrid possible. So again, thank you for your support. Melbourne, Aggregation by Assay Mark and Nadia was focused on an agritech solution using IoT. Very interesting, and they were the winner out of Melbourne. Again, it's thanks to a whole range of people across Telstra, GitLab, Melbourne Accelerator Program. Cloud Redify came in at the last minute. I think it was Wednesday night. At 6 p.m., Steve, who runs Melbourne, disturbed or upset my dinner by telling me we'd lost the location. But these guys stepped in at the last minute, so we had a location for Melbourne. Again, thank you so much. And of course, IBM Cloud were in there to support. Papillon over in Colombia did a great set of hacks. We have Mark's software, and this was using SMS messaging to perform search services, very focused on the Colombian market. They were very interesting. The application areas, we have Go POU, and they were looking at IoT-based temperature sensors. Again, check out the hack. Very focused on meeting specific local issues, which I think is very interesting application. And the Synergetica hack, and this was an app to allow you to create video conferencing rooms to do tutorials. So again, great quick hack built up on Appidays, just to show how powerful their platform is. And as I said, we had burger chains, but we also had Creative Cluster. We had the group from the university that supports .NET. The university itself was supporting us. So a great group of people came together to make TADHack Papillon possible. Romania was the first time we'd run a hack in Romania. So we're very pleased with the results that came out of that. We had Hack Jarvis, Smart Door Camera, and Stock Market Watchdog. Again, go to the weblog. You can view the pitch. You can read more details about what they did. Again, excellent set of hacks for the first time from Romania. And here are some pictures. They ran it in their offices. And there's some of the winners, because they ran on late into the night. And Andre, who's the guy on the right there, sort of kneeling, he was working really late into the, well, let's face it, he was working in the morning to get all the content together for the slides and getting the videos out so people can view them today. But it was his first time, and I think he's now realized just how intense a TADHack is. And his company is Anovo. They're doing some very interesting stuff in the Romanian market and are breaking out across Eastern Europe. So we're definitely a company to watch. South Florida, we had a couple of winners. We had Hack Vehicle Safe, the Hack Vehicle Safe, sorry. Montaza, Chris, and Chris were winners from last year up in Chicago. So they obviously decided to go down to the sun. And then we had the hack Bank Transactions by Christine and T. One of their team flew in from Tennessee to take part. Again, it was a great hack that solved a problem that was important for them. And it's individuals. Hugh Goldstein is, his company is AU24, and Thomas Quintana, he does a whole host of things. One of them is running Fort Lauderdale Machine Learning Meetup Group, and those are the guys that made TADHack South Florida possible. Then moving on to, again, one of our big events, Sri Lanka. As I mentioned, they have 400, 500 registrations, but they then downsize before they get to the actual event themselves. And Senate Mobile, who runs this, has been with us since the very beginning of TADHack. And you know, I'm a fan of what they've done. I think in Sri Lanka, they've created an amazing ecosystem that's solving lots of problems for Sri Lanka using technology. Some of the winners were Team Phoenix, which was a solution for diabetes patients. There was Team Horizon members, and this was a solution for, excuse me, for public bus transport. And then Team Alpha Blocks, which was focused on reuse of document verification. So some great hacks that came out from there. And again, props to Senate Mobile for running yet another excellent location. Now, that's the local winners done. I'm going to stop sharing so that we can pop back. And what I'd like to do is to introduce Kim. So Kim, if you could introduce yourselves, and when you're ready, I'll move back to the presentation so that we can run through that. Okay, Kim?
Sounds good. Thank you, Alan. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Great. So to start off, I just wanted to say how excited the entire status team was to sponsor TADHack this year. This was our first year participating, and it was a great experience, I think, for all of us who were able to participate. We had, I think, Graham was in London, we had Sean in Brisbane, and we had Eric in Melbourne, and they all had a fantastic time, and we're really impressed with the people that turned out. So over the past many months, Status has really evolved from a decentralized Ethereum mobile platform for chat, wallet transactions, and dApp discovery into, I think, what has become a true ecosystem and community. We have a desktop version launching. We have an Embark developer tool, which I know some of you built on, which we were excited to see. We have an incubate program to foster like-minded startups. And so much more. And our developers are really driving Web3 innovation. And I think the long-term goal of Status is to drive mass adoption of Web3 and Ethereum. So for us, TADHack was a nice way, I think, to step outside of the core Ethereum hackathons that we typically sponsor, the global Ethereum events, and to really try and see what would mass adoption look like, and can our technology be mashed up with other technologies, and what can be built, and how will people embrace it. So we were really, really excited to see so many hacks that did integrate Status. So we were blown away with the quality of hacks we saw. We were thrilled with how many teams chose to use Status in some way. Our criteria in selecting winners was, I think, really around hacks that solved real world problems, like Alan has mentioned a couple times, hacks that contributed to the ecosystem or had the potential to impact and change people's lives for the better. So selecting winners was difficult. There are a lot of favorite hacks I think that the team had. I think all of the winning location hacks have a small fan base of some sort within Status. We did manage to land on 5 winners and decided to split the prize pot evenly across them, with each winner receiving $400 US. And just a disclaimer, being from the marketing side of Status, I can't go too deep into the technology of each hack. So I'm relying on some cryptic notes from our team, and I'll do my best to translate them. But I encourage everybody to watch the winning presentations for more tech detail. So next slide. So first from London, Graham, one of our lead developers from Status who attended the London event, was incredibly impressed with the quality of the hacks there and the quality of all the participants. We actually have 2 winners from London. We have Matt from Team Ethereum Gateway. Matt's hack was an Ethereum-hosted WebAssembly serverless runtime. And we love this project because it was a valuable real-world application to address problems of creating a truly distributed gateway between Riot and Whisper. And we love that the code fixes were pushed upstream to a project, Rust, which was used in the hack. So congratulations, Matt. Nice job. Our second London winner, next slide, yeah, thanks, is Emmanuel and Darius, Team Matrix Whisper Bridge, who said it best during their presentation. The function is in the name. Kudos to this team, as it was their first time working with Ethereum. So that really impressed everyone at Status a lot. Great job. Their hack successfully bridged Matrix with Whisper. Well done, guys. Our next winner is from Johannesburg, Team Voltron, Steven. His hack solved for storage and releasing private information securely. And this is a key area of focus for Status. So everyone was really thrilled to see this. Being decentralized, privacy and security are paramount, and they're on the top of every project we work on, and they're integrated in our core values and principles. So this was an amazing hack to see. So nice job, Steven. Next winner is from Kuala Lumpur, Team 45, Vincent, whose hack enabled decentralized warranty card. Not only was his hack decentralized, but it was built using the Status Embark platform. So our Embark team was really happy to see this. This was an amazing hack. Well done, Vincent. And our last winner from Colombia, RM5, Juan, Camilo, and Mauricio. Their app was to capture student marches, demonstrations, document abuses, connect people with legal help when they need it. This was, I think, super impressive to all of us, because these are the types of projects we're hoping to see more of, especially built with Status. This is the type of global community that we want to foster and support in any way that we can. So this was really, really impressive, an amazing job, and we hope to hear more from all of you guys. Thank you for everybody who spent time over the 2 weekends participating. We hope you had fun, and we hope you continue to explore Status and join the Status community. Thanks, Alan.
That's excellent. Thank you so much, Kim. Okay, so moving on to VoIP innovations, or I should say App-A-Days by VoIP Innovations. So David, over to you. And you're still on mute. There you go.
Okay, can you hear me now, Alan? All right. First of all, I want to say thanks for all the work that you've done watching the TADHack Global grow. And I think this was the second hack we've done. I don't think we have done a global event, but I think it was regional back in early this year. And like Kim was saying, it's super exciting to see all the interests and partners and also all of the hack developers and hackers from all over the world. What's really interesting to me is seeing a lot of the blockchain technologies being introduced, especially when it comes to telco. I see that there's a lot of opportunities for leveraging decentralized security for many different use cases, and super excited. But to give you a little background on VoIP Innovations, we're a global communication service provider that provides service from all over the world, mostly phone numbers, powered by Appidaze, the product, which is our programmable telco platform that enables real-time SMS, chat, WebRTC video, as well as programmable voice. And what's interesting with us is that, which we see as a big differentiator, is we've got a huge channel. We have over 2,000 channel partners, MSPs, VARs, and different resellers that we take it a step further. If we like a product, and especially some of these, I'm excited to see these potential winners productize their products. We'll also give them a way to monetize their applications through what we call our showroom marketplace, which we'll actually co-market these applications, give them the exposure to sell into our existing reseller channel, which is supports over 200,000 SMBs and enterprises globally, and they're all looking for new and unique solutions to remain relevant in the marketplace. So this is very exciting for us. In fact, we just kicked off the soft launch of our MVP of the showroom product, which we're planning to announce and actually give a demo at TAD Summit coming up in November, which we're super excited about. And so hopefully that gave you a good background on VoIP Innovations and Appidaze. If you want to go ahead and hit the next slide. Oh, there we go. This is that the right? Yeah, SaaS Global. So this is out of Pompeian, Melbourne. Oh, Melbourne, that's the one. So this is a super interesting application that we decided to choose. We chose 4 companies or teams effectively that we didn't spread the payments evenly. Our criteria was really looking at products that we could actually leverage for our company, as well as broadcasting them in the showroom to enable our resellers. Voice accessibility was an interesting one where I think has a lot of potential around giving the end user the ability to control their health records access. And also what was really neat about that was it was effectively an IVR that they built on it, and which actually would send a message and they'd hit a link and they'd get a call request that basically enables them to pick how long they can share the records, if they want to share their medical records, and to which doctor, which is, I think, very important, because a lot of times you send these data records, and most doctors, hospitals, whatever medical institution it is, once you share them, they keep them forever. And I think having the right to pull that data back is a huge win for the public. So I think so we gave them the first prize, which we're super excited about, of $900. and looking forward to working with them, see where we could take that with voice accessibility. If you want to hit the next one. This is in Berlin, team called Time Chain. Time Chain is a global platform enabling knowledge exchange based on blockchain technology, diversifying and upgrading work agreements. I think what we're looking to do is actually control who views different types of documentation using blockchain technology, as well as telco APIs, where you get a notification if somebody's viewed your giving permissions to view a document, as well as viewing when people review a document. I think that's a great use case. I see a lot of potential with that, leveraging blockchain and our APIs. And they won second prize, so we're super excited about them and working with them. And they won a $500 prize from us. And the third one is out of Chicago, SciSafe. And this is kind of an interesting one where I was wondering where my kids are. I know where my son is. He's a hacker. He's upstairs. But making sure, creating geofencing notifications of where your kids are at when they're home, and actually getting an SMS notification to allow you to know where your kids are, which we thought was a very cool use case. And you can set different parameters for the zones of the geozoning of how you want to effectively know where your kids are at all times, and that's hugely helpful. So congratulations to SciSafe. Also looking forward to working with them. They got third prize for $400. And then in New Zealand, this one was I think I got two names for them, but it's Penguins $, but I also have gravel.io behind it. Again, another blockchain technology, which is really cool, because I actually had an issue one time on eBay where I had to return. Somebody bought a drone from me and it went to the wrong person. Well, it was basically fraud. But if I would actually had the ability to talk to them via video and chat, I could have showed them the platform. I could have known who I was selling it to. They're leveraging the Ethereum blockchain. And I see a lot of potential in that as well. Who you're selling to, what you're buying. So that's a great use case. And they won $200. So congratulations to Penguins $, gravel.io from New Zealand. Super exciting to work with these guys. And I just want to say to all the other all the hackers out there, it's great working with them, and if they didn't win anything this time, hopefully, next time. And we appreciate their support, and also, coming in for the weekend and working on this.
Excellent. Thank you so much, David. Thank you so much, Kim. And I would always, the hacks that end up being commercial successes are usually not the winners. So just remember that, even though you may not have won, if you believe in what you've created, get out there. The sponsors, the TADHack ecosystem want you to make a success of the ideas, the problems that you're solving. So again, thank you so much for taking part. We've got a TADHack Mini coming up in Orlando, associated with Enterprise Connect in March. And then I'm sure we'll be doing lots more stuff through 2019. So again, thank you so much for your time and attention. Good luck, and see you in the new year.
Thanks a lot, Alan.
Bye-bye.
Look forward to next year.